You ready to rock and roll here?
Let's do it, man.
All right. Okay.
Here we go.
Okay. Here.
This better be a
I'm
good
looking
one.
at this. Hey, dude.
This better be a good one. Fire in
It
the
will
hole.
be. It
Fire
will
in the
be.
hole.
Fire in the hole,
All
brother.
right.
Fire in the hole. Let's see if we can pick this one up.
Sammy. You never go wrong with a Red Rocker, especially when you're a Buckeye fan.
Have you ever seen Hagar?
I have not seen him live, man.
I saw him live a lot of years ago.
I don't think he's any different. I mean,
he's not.
Have you seen him lately?
No.
He's like Keith Richards, but not so deathly looking. You know, he doesn't age.
Yeah.
He's 70-some years old.
You know.
I hold on. I'm gonna look up, see how old Sammy is, man.
He's like 70,000 years old. He's got to be somewhere upper 60s for sure. For sure. You know, I'm driving on the expressway the other day, and there is just, you know, the stupid driver everywhere. And the first thing that popped into mind was Sammy Hagar, brother. So we got to do that. You want to sing a little bit? No, I don't want to sing. I just want to hear it. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not singing, dude. We're trying to attract an audience.
Not make a vomit or anything like that. Well, hey, man, this is podcast number 11.
I am Fire.
And I am Brim, double M Stone. This is Tuesday, November 15th. And like you said, fireandbrimstone.com, Fire and Brim on Twitter, Fire and Brimstone on Facebook.
He just turned 69 years old, man.
69 years old.
Sammy is 69 freaking years old.
No kidding. I'd still love to see him.
Oh, I'd see him in a heartbeat.
Change.
I would see him in a New York Minute, man.
He's one of those guys, from what I hear, is that when he goes on stage, he gives you everything.
He goes insane, and this little thing clicks, and he's out of control.
He just gives you absolutely everything, and that's just, I mean, that's what you want when you go to a concert like that. But yeah, and when I saw him, it was a long time ago. It was at the Toledo Zoo when he was at the amphitheater, and man, did he put on a show. And actually, I wasn't in the amphitheater. I was outside along the fence line with everybody else, drinking beers and just, enjoying the concert. And I remember hearing this one. It was just like, it sounded just like this. It was just, just perfect, just like this. So, hey, so what did you do this past weekend?
I did go see another movie.
Did you?
Yeah, a friend and I went. We went to see Almost Christmas.
Almost Christmas
with Danny Glover and Monique and who are the others? It's essentially about a man who just lost his wife, and the parents, the children lost their mom, and this is their first Christmas without her.
Yeah,
and it's typical. Monique is hilarious.
Yeah,
she owns every one-liner in that show. She has like 1,800 wigs.
Sure.
The opening scene. She has like 17 suitcases and like 15 of them are wigs. It was a good Christmas movie, man. I really did. I enjoyed it. Well, the theater was busting out laughing. Belly chuckles.
Oh, so that's what we want to hear.
You're going to pay $10 and you're going to get a couple belly chuckles. That's worth the price of admission.
Okay, so we are going to, last week you saw Doctor Strange.
Yes.
Now you saw Almost Christmas.
Yep.
And, we've got our little side thing going, which we're calling 5 bags of popcorn. So that, our movie reviews.
Yep.
So, okay, out of how many bags of popcorn would you give Almost Christmas?
I give it 3.8.
3.8.
Just short of 4, man. There was a couple little sections where it dragged a little, just a smidge. But...
Okay. We'll put that out there, and what we're going to do, we're going to start adding. We're going to broaden
a repertoire.
The scope. That's right. We are going to do that. So Almost
you know what?
Christmas.
We're going to need a movie theater sponsor us or something because this is going to get expensive. I cheat. I still have my student ID in my wallet, so I hit the student to save that $2.50 because I'm cheap.
You know what?
Do you know what $2.50 get you at the concession stand?
What?
You don't even get a cup. They don't even give you an empty cup.
They're
like the water fountains over there. Fuck you.
Yeah, that's right.
$20 to get in, and I spend $32 at the concession stand. You know? It's like,
what the hell?
I just dropped a $50 bill, man. I'm not even sitting down yet.
All right, but it was a good movie.
It was a good movie. It was very entertaining. It was good. I mean, it seemed a little early for Christmas. I see your neighbor's got his Christmas tree.
I know.
I want to go.
You know what?
You should go slap him.
You know what?
That's ridiculous.
No. You know what?
No, it's up and it's lit.
Dude,
that's bullshit.
Dude, he is beating me this year. Usually, I'm the one that's got the Christmas tree lights.
Okay, well, if you do it before Thanksgiving,
No, you know what I do?
I got issues with you, man.
Here's what I do. I put them up before Thanksgiving, but I don't turn them on until Thanksgiving because the kids won't let me turn them on until Thanksgiving. But you know what?
Although with this weather that we're having,
that's exactly why I put them up when I do, because of the weather.
Because we're old. You can tell we're old. That's
we're approaching middle age is what we are.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, that's nobody can see us here.
But you know what? I can't really talk either. I've still got lights up on my mantle from last Christmas. I just never took them down. I'm like, you know what?
Well, you were watching Almost Christmas. We spent a delightful day on Sunday down in Ohio, Columbus, Ohio State area with our daughter, and we just visited all kinds of things outside of the campus. Columbus has got a lot of cool stuff down there. They've got this one park. It's called the Topiary Park, where they have all of these different.
Sounds filthy.
No, I mean you would.
How do you spell that? I'm going to look that up, man.
Is that really? I mean, what topiary?
Is that a euphemism for something that I'm unaware of?
Do I need a cream or gel for that?
Or a shot?
It does sound kind of bad, but what they do is they take these bushes. And then they, they cut them in a way they look like figurines, like people. It's when they had these bushes, they looked like a crew boat in the water. It was really, really cool. So that was something that was really fun. Had a real blast down in Columbus, and went over to it was called the Loft, the Book Loft.
Okay,
one of the coolest bookstores you will ever see everywhere. It's like they took about 4 old buildings and just tied them all together.
Gutted them and just made this massive.
That's what it was, and it goes up and down and back and forth. It's got cubbies everywhere. It's like a corn maze, but it's of books. And it is just the coolest. You could get lost in there.
There's got to be some organization to it, right? I mean,
you know what?
I mean, how do you know where a book is?
I have no freaking clue. I have no freaking clue how anybody. We just walked everywhere.
Oh, you know what you do?
Yeah.
You take one book in the left corner and you take it all the way to the far right upper deck.
Yeah.
And switch it with another. And just mind blow them. Just mind blow them. How long do you think it would take for them to find that
I don't know how they even keep track of inventory. It's absolutely impossible. But if you ever get down to Columbus, you got to go to the Book Loft. It is such a cool thing. So besides, watching Almost Christmas and then, go down to Columbus, what the heck went on Saturday, dude?
There was some mystic voodoo. You know what? I think the super moon preempted all this crazy stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, 2, 3, and 4 go down for the first time since, 85.
Right.
Well, first of all, we talk. Clemson has lived by this, on the edge
every week. We talk about it, have we?
All
right.
year long. That should technically be their second loss.
Yeah.
Michigan.
I didn't hear that. Can you say that again?
Freaking gaggers. It's perfect.
Yeah.
Every time you need those POSs to do something for you as a Buckeye fan,
right?
They piss down their leg.
Oh, I tell you what.
Freaking Iowa. And once again, what happens? It's the punt team.
Yeah. It was the punt team, wasn't it?
You know what?
Absolutely,
just go for it on 4th down for the rest of your lives because you guys suck.
It was. I mean,
God,
it just absolutely. Okay, then you've got number 4, Washington, and I think we both kind of suspected.
Yeah.
We had a feeling about
we
that
did.
against USC. That's the one
we thought that was a trap game.
Yep, absolutely.
And at home.
It was,
and it wasn't like they got beat. They got slobber knocked. They got crushed.
They got beat from the get-go.
Yeah. They got owned.
USC came out and punched them in the mouth.
Yep.
Just kicked the Huskies. I mean, from the get-go. I mean, it was. They lost that game. The other two. Clemson's been trying to, like you said, Michigan.
You know what. And I hate to beat on Michigan, but no, I don't. They had these home games, these home games. I mean, how many ranked teams have they played?
Really, Colorado? Is it?
Colorado. Well, Wisconsin, but Colorado, really?
Didn't we talk about that with Bill last week?
Yeah.
We said, who have they really played?
I was trying to tell you it was smoke and mirrors. But I thought they would beat Iowa. I thought they'd come through and beat Iowa. But, they got exposed.
They get big time exposed.
They got exposed.
They get big. Iowa ran on them.
shoving it down their throat. Yeah,
absolutely.
That doesn't bode. Yeah, that looks good for the Buckeyes.
Yeah, if you're Urban Meyer and coaches down there, you go. Wow,
Mr. Weber, you're going to get the ball about 800 times.
Mr. Samuel, you are going to see that ball. Yes. You're going to see it every single side of the field.
Let's this is a weird voodoo season. Let's win out.
Yeah,
let's get there because. Yeah.
Okay, now wait a minute. If the Buckeyes, if Michigan wins out, their path is a heck of a lot easier. Because they went out, they beat Ohio State.
They own the tiebreaker with Penn State.
That's right, and then they go to the Big Ten championship game, right? And,
the West winner owns their destiny too.
Right.
Especially Wisconsin. Wisconsin wins out and wins the Big Ten title game. They're in.
Right.
I would think they're in. But the Buckeyes are going to be at number 2 and possibly sitting for the Big Ten title game. What happens there?
Well, they've got one loss. They're ranked higher in the BCS right now, and we don't know. I haven't seen what the new...
And I don't think you can argue after the last couple of weeks of them getting their crap together, they are the second-best team
They are the second-best team. And so even though they say that, conference championship means, like everything...
Yeah.
This is the one time that can you really, even if you have a Penn State or Wisconsin, they go ahead... Money.
Yeah, I'm flashing the money sign right here.
That means if it's money, it's Ohio State.
Absolutely, because everybody and their brother travels for the Buckeyes.
You got it. That's what's going to happen.
But if the whole thing is to get the 4 best teams in the playoffs, you got to have the Buckeyes in there.
You know what? The winner, Penn State, Wisconsin. We're assuming that it'll be Penn State, Wisconsin.
There could be 2 Big Ten teams in the Final Four.
Oh yeah,
I mean it's possible. So
there could be. There very well could be.
As volatile as things got last week, who knows what's going to happen?
Okay.
Who knows? They got to play them.
Now, let's get to that point. Ohio State has to go through Michigan State first this coming weekend.
Oh, that's going to be a bludgeoning.
Do you think they're going to remember what happened last year? Ohio State. Do you think they're going to remember? Michigan State will remember too.
The Buckeyes are going to run that score up again.
I think they're going to run
They may rack up 60 on Michigan State because right now, knowing that you may not get in the playoffs, you're going to have to leave some serious lasting impressions. So if you run the table putting up 60 on everybody, that style points. Which they're not supposed to matter, but human beings are biased. You can't watch a game like that and watch somebody put up 60 on somebody and just dominate and not go, oh, yeah.
Dude, I'm with you completely. I am absolutely with you completely. They are going to run up the score. They are going to make them remember last year. They're going to everybody's going to want to forget last year.
Oh yeah. There's payback. And Michigan State has a history of screwing us.
Yes.
In that position, the Joe Germain era when we were ranked number 1. They come in and they beat us. They always just find a way to just jab us in the.
There's going to be some ghosts that are just going to be ripped. On Saturday. All right. Now, if you're Michigan, you lose Speak. Okay, he's out. It sounds like he is absolutely.
From what I read
out.
today, I know they were kind of denying it last night, but he's done. He's out.
Right.
Back up in. So
okay.
If you're Michigan, the way Michigan's supposed to be, next man up.
Yep. Do you want to shed any tears for Michigan?
No, I want them to get crushed. I don't care at this point. I don't care.
I didn't hear anybody crying for Ohio State.
Yeah, you know what? And where's that Jabril Peppers for the Heisman frickin' banter at? Hold on. Mic drop.
But I honestly think that they're not in a bad position. You got John O'Corn. He played for Houston. Hell, in 2000, I think it was 13 or 14. He threw for 3,000 yards at Houston. So it's not like he's a rookie coming off the bench. So
yeah, but he hasn't practiced. Played with the ones all year.
Yeah.
It's timing. And they're going to be coming.
You know
what? You have to bring the house again. It's coming.
Yeah.
So
I was talking to a dude this week, and he said, Ohio State, Michigan, they both have one loss. But they like Ohio State's loss better for a couple reasons. First of all, it's against Penn State, and it's a quality loss.
Who's in the top 10? So you lost to a top 10 team.
Yeah, it's a quality loss. And then he said it's the time of the year that they lost.
Yeah, just soon enough that you can climb back up, and not late enough that you're screwed, and there's no way to retract it.
Right, and you can figure out what the hell is going on.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
Michigan losing last week.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're in trouble. But they may not drop too far.
No, I don't think they're going to drop too far. It's just that they have to figure out what they're going to do. They've got Indiana, which is a nice matchup. Indiana is not.
Indiana had Penn State on the ropes last week.
You're damn right they did.
And I was watching that game going, then Penn State pulled it out.
You and I were texting during that game.
I know.
And they had him on the ropes. They certainly did have him on the ropes.
And Indiana everybody hates Michigan. Everybody hates Ohio State. So Michigan is going to get Indiana's best shot.
Oh, you're doggone right. Indiana.
That'll make their season.
They've got another reason.
That'll make their season. So
hell yeah, they got another reason to pick on this game.
Is it on the road?
It's in Ann Arbor. It's in the Big House.
What do they got?
I know
every home game for Ann Arbor. I mean, what is that noise?
I think they put the practices on the road. That's about the only thing that Michigan has done on the road this year. But. Okay, Ohio State goes up to Michigan State, so that's going to be a nice one. And now we've got Louisville. Louisville's got Houston this weekend. Now, Louisville, remember Houston? We were on the Houston bandwagon. Earlier.
Yeah, they fell apart, man.
But they only have 2 losses. It seems like they just fell off into nothing, but they only have 2 losses. This is going to be a big, big game for both of those teams. Louisville, just to keep where they are. But Houston, they're going to want to ruin Louisville's season. There's no doubt about that.
Petrino is one of the biggest in college football, man. He doesn't know what lighten the throttle means.
Yeah.
They are going to blast Houston.
You think so?
They will blast Houston.
Let's see. Let's see.
You know what? I will bet you dinner on that game, and I'll give you Houston in the points.
I tell you what.
And Louisville will cover.
Our friend down in Houston is looking for another big gig potentially after this.
Oh, I'm sure he is.
And he's going to get it. You think that he would love to go ahead and go into, and actually Louisville's playing at Houston. So if Louisville's going to win, they get a win on the road. They get a win on the road big.
Somebody has to, because Lord knows Michigan never hits the freaking
road. Let's see, Washington coming up in 2 weeks. They've got the Apple Cup. Washington, I don't know. I think they're the odd man out right now. I think that.
We need to see those rankings. The way I look at it, the way it should happen: 2, 3, 4 got beat, 5, 6, 7 should just plop right in.
Yeah.
But it won't be that clean.
No, it won't be that clean at all.
Yeah, but it never works that easy.
Oh, this is going to be so damn fun over the next, just this coming Saturday and then the following week. That I'm looking forward to that stuff, dude. That is just going to be an absolute blast.
Things are going to clear up quickly.
You think so? Yeah.
Well, you got 2 weeks. That's it. So.
And then I've got to throw out some love to our Toledo Rockets. That
always.
I tell you what. You know what? They play Western Michigan not this week, next week, and Western Michigan is in the top 20 nationally. Logan Woodside is leading the nation in touchdown passes. Yeah, he's got 37. He's still ahead. He's 2 ahead of Jake Browning for Washington. And this kid's only a junior, so he's going to be coming back next year.
How do you know? Any talk of him coming out? I don't know.
You know what? If there's enough money out there, potentially, that he will come out.
There's agents.
You think so?
There's money involved. I don't know. I hope he does. I hope he comes back.
Yeah. I would love to see him come back. Toledo definitely. You have him another year.
Well, look at Greg Kowski, man. He stuck around for his 4.
Yeah, he did.
And
he did.
He's still getting a paycheck. So.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he's living not too bad.
Better to play and get reps than it is to sit and learn. That's just how it is.
Yeah, he's not living too bad at all. That's for doggone sure. And I'm not sure. I don't have the calendar in front of me. What's in Week 12? I don't think there's any really big games.
Let's see what monstrosities here. Well, Louisville, Houston, Wisconsin, Purdue, Maryland.
Anything that drives you nuts here?
Alabama, Chattanooga.
Oh.
In Alabama.
How did we miss that one?
Yeah. I mean, really? You're going to play Chattanooga Week 10 in the season? Come on, Saban.
Do you think that's a little bit... That is weak, dude. You're absolutely right.
You'd be better off scrimmaging your, 2s versus 1. Hell, Alabama's second team could probably get ranked. I mean, that's terrible. That's terrible. Chattanooga? You're playing Chattanooga.
I did not see that. I did not see that at all.
Here we go. Here's a game of the week right here. Oklahoma, number 11 versus number 16, West Virginia. That's the game of the week right there. Oklahoma at West Virginia.
Okay. So I think we're looking ahead 2 weeks. We can't look past the other games or the other teams, but we're looking ahead 2 weeks. We get the Iron Bowl.
Rivalry week.
Absolutely. You get the Iron Bowl, Auburn, Alabama, obviously Ohio State, Michigan. You get Washington State. And I'm sure there's all kinds of other numerous ones.
Man, that's not a rivalry.
You know what? I'm promoting them. I'm hoping that we're going to get a listener.
They're out on the wrong coast, man. I mean, nobody
they're
cares.
3 hours behind. All right. So this is this is the time of year that we're always looking forward to.
Yeah, everything counts now. So.
Yeah, absolutely. So what do you think, man? Do you think we should move on to some NFL football?
Yeah, and we do need to move on to the NFL because once again, I have suddenly become the wizard of prediction here.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead. Lay it on me. Go ahead. Lay it on me.
Slow down here. Let me savor this moment. You know, you gloated the last 3 weeks prior, so... As I should. Go ahead. Let me see. Week 10, you were a paltry 8 victories, 6 defeats, and you were 8-6 against the spread, too. Now, Mr. Fire here was 12 games predicted correct, straight up, 12 out of 14, and I hit 10 out of 14 against the spread. And one of those games was a frickin' push with the Chiefs and Panthers, 20-17, and Carolina was getting 3. So I mean, frickin' the clowns.
Okay, you know what? I just gotta say right here, you have had a hell of a 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah, that's crazy, man.
You have had a hell of a 2 weeks. You have picked up. I mean, you were.
I was significantly behind. Yeah. I was going to get left at the bus stop here, and I'm actually ahead of you straight up now, 59% to my 60.5.
And you picked it up big time against the spread.
I was like 42% or some disgusting number, and now I'm essentially 50%, and you're sitting at 55. So. We're almost in the money.
And so last week
if we used real money to wager, the monopoly cash is piling up.
Yeah, there's no money here. We get green stuff around here, but it's not money. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's my snot red. It's friggin' head cold.
A couple games. The Packers. What the hell? They are like melted cheese, dude. They are just a bowl. They are fondue.
You do not have a running game, and as when you're one dimensional. You're in trouble.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got arguably one of the 2 or 3 best quarterbacks in the game. You're one-dimensional.
Yep.
You're in trouble.
Yep. So
no run game, you're in trouble.
You've got, and so we'll talk to Dave here in just a minute. But the Packers, they're fondue. They're my new fondue team. They're just mush. Nothing there. The Vikings, they started out 5-0.
Now they're 5-4.
Okay. Is it because people have tape on them?
I don't know. I don't know what's happened, man. I don't know how you're 5-0 and all that dissension in the office, and Norv Turner says adios.
Yeah, something's going on up there. Something is freaking going on up
something
there.
is really, really wrong, man.
Even if they went 2-2,
those last 4 they're
games,
stinking it up bad.
And the Redskins are actually coming on nicely. It just, okay.
Kirk Cousins is going to get paid.
Yes, he is.
Again.
Yes.
He's going to get sick money.
He is going to get Ryan Fitzpatrick money starting next year.
And
you know what? But he's going to actually play football where Fitzpatrick has got, Geno Smith, playing for him, Bryce Petty playing in front of him, and this guy is making $14 million a year.
Yeah.
Okay, you're right. Cousins at least is going to get.
He's going to get one of them $85, $90 million contracts, and I mean the numbers are there, but
yeah. Another one that surprised me: Falcons beating the Eagles. I was all over the Falcons on that one. I thought that Carson Wentz, the number, the tapes out.
You mean
the
Eagles beating the Falcons?
That's right. Yeah. No. Yeah. The Eagles beat the Falcons. That's right. I was all over the Falcons, and Carson Wentz just comes back on that. We mentioned the.
How bad were the Rams and the Jets? 9-6.
Well,
a field goal party.
Well,
really?
Actually, what it was, the Rams got 3 runs at the bottom of the 9th inning. And,
a walk-off homer to win
it. The Jets have no relief pitching, man. They just let up runs. Yeah. 9-6. Are you serious?
Yeah, that's
get out of here.
Yeah.
Did you see how the Broncos won? That is so freaking lame.
He was out of bounds, man. He was out of bounds. But I had the Broncos, so I'll take it.
But come on. Jeez. I mean,
how do you miss it, man? I don't know. How do you miss it on the replay? Whatever.
My goodness. It's
Cardinals beat the Niners.
Barely.
I don't care. I hate Frisco.
There's nothing to like about Frisco.
Ever since the frickin' catch, they've despised them.
There is nothing to like about Frisco. And then, Sunday night, we had the Patriots and the Seahawks. Was that kind of, okay, it's not the Super Bowl. I mean, it was a Sunday night game. But do you think that the Seahawks felt good about actually making, that stop?
I'm sure they did.
Yeah.
I'm sure they did. They won. I'm sure they felt really good about that. Captain Obvious.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. So I tell you what, the other game that we have not spoken about was that monster game, that Sunday afternoon game with Dallas goes into Pittsburgh. And
seven lead changes, a late go-ahead touchdown by Dallas, a fake spike pass for a touchdown to go up with 42 seconds left, and then the Cowboys take the ball downfield at 42 seconds and 2 timeouts and then shove Zeke right down their throat for a 30-yard touchdown. That breaks my heart. Yeah. My brother's a diehard Steeler fan. Sorry,
Is he
Jim.
really?
Oh,
no
yeah,
kidding.
always has been. Sorry, Jim, but you got throttled.
Oh, jeez. That
was a great game.
You and I talked about. We were texting back and forth, and
yeah.
we said this was going to be the game of the day.
And when they threw that little Hail Mary fade off the fake downing of the football, I thought, okay, we got beat on a garbage play.
Right.
That's all right. We'll still be leading the division. Dallas didn't fret at all, man.
No,
Dak
they
just
didn't.
stood tall, made his throws, and they made plays.
Dude, you got a rookie quarterback there. You got a rookie running back. It's just absolutely amazing.
A couple of those passes to Witten, to extend those drives, get the first downs.
Those are not rookie plays.
Those were phenomenal passes, man. They're just.
Those are not rookie plays.
Guy's not even into his break yet, and you're throwing the ball, and it's on his outside shoulder. Shazier is all over him.
Yeah.
A big old corn-fed Witten, and the ball's out in front of him. You can't get through him.
It is absolutely
and his hands
ridiculous.
are money.
So, I've been reading, ever since. You know who people have ranking number 1 in the NFL right now? The Cowboys.
Yeah,
the Cowboys.
It's hard not to.
I mean, if you asked back in August, no way. But you know what? So to talk about the Cowboys a little bit more, we have the delight of having Dave Halprin from Blogging the Boys and SB Nation. He's at the line with us, and we're going to talk a little bit more about the little bit in depth about the Cowboys here. Hey, Dave, can you hear me?
Yep, can hear you fine.
Perfect.
Excellent. So appreciate your time here, my man. I just got to ask you. I was looking back at the schedule, and back on the third preseason game, Romo goes down, and everything. I think everybody fears that. What went on in Cowboy fan nation at that time when Romo goes down?
Well, everybody was pretty much thinking, let's just hopefully we can tread water. Whoever it's going to be, and Dak Prescott was. He got the snaps in preseason, but we still really didn't know about him. Maybe they would go out and get a veteran at some point if they weren't comfortable. We just really didn't know at that time. But the whole idea was tread water, try to keep ourselves competitive, wait until Tony Romo comes back, takes the team back over, make a drive for the playoffs. So you're hoping, 500 or something in that neighborhood. And that, you're winning some divisional games along the way and not getting blown out in division.
Sure.
I think that was the mindset of most Cowboys fans at that time. Yeah. And, Dak Prescott obviously changed all of that and changed it really quickly.
Yeah. 3-5 even at this point with Tony coming back. You got to think, okay, we're within striking distance, but 8-1, that's ridiculous.
Just going back, David, you follow these guys all the time. Would you have thought 8-1? I mean, if I called you up on this day and told you back then, no, they're going to be 8-1. What would have, what would have been a reasonable? I think 3-5.
Click.
That sounds,
Click. That guy's a lunatic.
Yeah, you could have. I mean, it could. If you'd have told me at the end of like 8 weeks, which is kind of what we all were thinking at the time, because they said 6 to 10 weeks, and we thought, well, even if it's 6 weeks on Romo, he's going to need a couple of weeks to get back in the swing of things before he starts again. So we were thinking week 8. If you'd have told me 4-4, I'd have been ecstatic. I'd have thought that's fantastic, because not only was Dak a rookie quarterback, he's a 4th-round rookie quarterback.
Yeah.
And he's a rookie quarterback that everybody said, this guy has potential, but he needs time.
He's a developer.
He never played under center. He was a shotgun quarterback, a pistol quarterback at Mississippi State. He didn't take snaps under center. Played in a little bit different system than what you have in the pros. Yeah, his footwork was something that people talked about when he gets pressured. He got kind of bad feet, bad mechanics. Things happen. So you just really saw this guy as, a couple of years down the road type of guy if he was ever going to make it in the NFL.
Yeah.
But for him to do what he's doing, it's unreal.
It's disgusting. For the rest of the league, for us Cowboy fans, we're living life.
You look at him, he doesn't run. He's looking downfield. He doesn't do what a rookie quarterback typically does.
Well, he has tremendous poise in the pocket. And you remember when he first went down, one of our first blogs, he looked decent in the preseason.
Right.
And I had said that, okay, but now they're going to scheme on him. They're gonna bring in 8 guys in the box, and they're just going to blitzkrieg him, and they're just going to destroy the guy, and they're going to make him beat him. Well, that kind of went by the wayside because now you've got this running game that's just pulverizing people, and now they're bringing 8 in the box to stop the run.
Yeah.
Which now you've got one-on-one coverages. You got Witten, Dax, and who's their third receiver? Number 11.
Beasley.
Yeah. So who are you doubling? Because when you double one, the other 2 are going to be on single coverage. You're in big trouble. So. Yeah, I've really been amazed at his poise, and if you watch, he makes his progressions. His head is always up. He's not looking down. He's not got the edgy feet like people had thought. He's really matured way beyond his experience level. Wouldn't you agree?
Definitely, I would agree. I mean, he does keep his head up. He never gets rattled by the rush. He stays in the pocket, and that's the thing I like. He's got the ability to run. But he just doesn't take off running at the first sign of trouble.
Sure.
He stays in the pocket. He lets it develop. He moves around a little bit, keeps his eyes downfield, and is looking to make the play. But if he has to, he can run. So that's, you would expect with a rookie quarterback who has the ability to run the football and to run it effectively, that would be his first recourse whenever things start getting a little jittery in the pocket. When it's got people at his feet or the people are coming around.
Yep. Nervous feet. Yep, exactly.
Yep.
He stays calm. He stays in there, waits for the play to develop, takes as much time as he can, and then only if he has to does he take off and run. I don't even know if he ran one time during the Steelers game.
I don't remember either. What blows me away, though, he has never been an original starter anywhere. In high school, he was a backup. Guy gets hurt, in he comes. Never gives it up. Same thing at Mississippi State. Guy gets hurt, wasn't the starter during the preseason, never gives the job back. And now it looks like he's done that same thing in the pros.
Yeah.
He's just got this moxie about him that once you give him the job, he's not giving it up.
Yeah. Now let's go about 3-4 yards behind Prescott. And you've got this other rookie.
What is his name again? I forget.
I think he's a complete unknown.
Yeah.
Who's that other rookie you got behind Prescott, Dave?
That'd be Zeke. Just call it Zeke.
Yeah. That's because that's what we call them up here.
Yeah.
In Buckeye Land up in Ohio. Yeah, it's for complete disclosure, I'm a big Raider fan, and I'm thinking, oh gosh, could he fall that far down in the draft? And Troy sent across me, he's going number 4. What'd you say, dude?
I said if you don't see the potential, because at that time Dallas has had the best offensive line for probably a couple years now. I mean, they're maulers. If you don't look at Zeke at 6 foot 225 pounds and what he can do, and you're going. Because nowadays the running back is a secondary commodity. Everybody wants the receivers, and the running game is backs are expendable. You do it by committee. I sat here and I said, if you don't take him, you're a complete moron.
Yeah. Yeah, how much, Dave? How much? It's a stupid question, but how much is Zeke helping out Prescott? Obviously on the surface he is, but beyond that, is he helping him in the huddle? Is he helping him in the locker room? Are there other things that they're doing besides on the field too?
Well, he's helping Dak in a couple of ways. The first way is he's keeping defenses honest. You cannot just you'd like to make an offense one-dimensional,
Exactly.
right? And so they think, well, if you got a rookie quarterback, if you could just confuse this rookie quarterback, if you could just, do things about them, but you can't scheme that way against the Cowboys because you have to consider Ezekiel Elliott. So you have to make your defense play both ways. And when you do that, you're kind of spreading yourself out. You're picking your poison. So it makes it a lot more difficult for a defensive coordinator to scheme up for.
Yeah, well, that pulls those on. Go ahead. Sorry.
The second thing that Zeke does for him is I don't think I've seen a running back who's better in pass protection in my whole life than Ezekiel Elliott. And he's a rookie. And I mean, the way he wiped out Ryan Shazier in that game.
Former teammate.
Flipped him over.
Well, welcome back.
I mean,
missed you.
He just does this week after week after week.
He does.
And
we watched it for 2 years at college.
If teams are going to blitz the Cowboys and try to get after Prescott, if Ezekiel Elliott's going to be cutting down their blitzers like that, that is one of the biggest help he can provide for Dak Prescott. Because if you can knock down the blitzers, then you got one-on-one out there somewhere with the Cowboys' talent at receiver. Somebody's going to be open.
And he just doesn't like keep them from the quarterback. He smashes people. He breaks them in half. He initiates the contact. It's good to see.
He does, and we're so familiar with him. And gosh, I wish he was still on the Buckeye the Buckeye jersey. But he's doing the same thing in the NFL. And here's a question for you, Dave. I asked Troy. I go, is he the best running back that the Cowboys have had since Emmitt Smith? And I can't think of another one. But go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I think you'd have to be. Of course, we're only 8 games in.
There you
9
go.
games in now, so it's always a little bit sample size. You got to say it's small.
Yeah.
But I mean, DeMarco Murray was phenomenal in 2014.
Yeah. That's exactly
DeMarco
what I said.
Murray wasn't the home run hitter that Zeke is.
No.
Now,
nor the blocker.
I did see Murray win for 75 yards just this weekend on the touchdown. It was a long run. I can't remember how much it was, but that wasn't normal. So that's the one edge that you kind of have with Zeke is he's got the ability to really use his quickness and speed on guys. And I think there's no doubt that Zeke is a better player in the passing game, catching passes out of the backfield than Murray was, even though Murray wasn't bad. So I think there are elements to Zeke's game that put him just a little bit above what Murray could do. And, you have to go way back to find guys' comparison to what Zeke's doing. I mean, the obvious is go back to Emmitt Smith.
Yeah,
and we're not thinking about that yet. But
let's not put him in the Hall of Fame.
In terms of ability, in terms of the whole package, the ability to do everything, Zeke's got to be among the best I've seen.
Sure.
For the Cowboys.
I would say it's a fair statement to say that his ceiling is much higher than DeMarco's would be. So from a potential standpoint, it's Zeke.
Yeah, he can do a few different things that Murray just doesn't have the ability to do.
So the Cowboys have 7 games left, and you've got you've got a nice matchup this coming weekend against Baltimore, and then you've got Washington on Thanksgiving Day. And then, Minnesota, the Giants, Tampa Bay, Detroit, Philadelphia. Okay, if you guys, I'm looking at you, both of you Cowboys fans. I'm talking to you, Dave, looking at Troy. All right, you got 7 games left. What do they finish in those last 7 games?
Ooh.
Well, I mean, the one thing you can never quite guess on is those final weekends because you don't know where you are in the playoff standing.
Sure. Right.
So is that week 17 just a total non-factor, and you're sitting, is it
home field wrapped up? Yeah.
Think about this scenario, which is crazy as it can be. What if it's week 17 and the Cowboys haven't wrapped up and they say, okay, Dak, you're going to sit. Romo, you're in. How insane is that?
That's beautiful.
I mean,
and then Romo lights it up for like 500 yards and 7 touchdowns.
Yeah,
And,
that's just the craziest scenario.
Problem to have, but
I mean,
but
I'll go back to that.
Cowboys should be favored down the stretch. I mean,
I agree.
There's no team on that schedule that you say they're not going to be favored. Even in Minnesota, having to go there now that they've fallen apart, I think that
you still got
be favored there too.
You still got Washington, you still got the Giants, and you got another run at Philly. So you still got your 3 divisional games, and those are always, especially late in the season, those are always bloodbaths. So. Those are usually tight games. So
they're quality games. You get the Lions too. The Lions are picking up. The Lions could end up winning their division. But having said that, I'm with you guys. I don't see anybody that's going to take on the Cowboys at this point.
Well, but hold on. They're very healthy right now.
Yeah.
It's getting late in the season. Who knows what could happen? The injury bug could hit, and now things change. You know what I mean? So. You got to stay healthy. So I mean that's a big assumption when we're talking about these 7 games and still being favored.
Yeah, but that is a heck of a scenario having Tony Romo come in just to get some snaps, get some some regulation play. I mean that is back to August, guys. If I were to ask you this, you think that I was drunk or something? That even suggest a scenario like that that is just so cool. To have a rookie combination like that taken over.
I'm just worried about Tony.
And to think of the fact that if that happened, that scenario played out, that potentially could be Romo's last game as a Cowboy.
Sure.
Could be his last snap.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Know?
Yeah.
It certainly would be nice if they could get him in to a situation like that where at least he'd get, something at the end that he could because come the off season, I mean, can you really pay a backup that kind of money? Can you carry a guy who wants to compete, who wants to be a starting quarterback in that kind of situation?
Yeah.
I mean, the Cowboys are really going to have to face that decision.
Yeah, $16 million at 37, and you're a backup? Yeah, that's not going to happen. And who knows? Yeah. I don't see it happening, but, Dak may step back and go, you know what? That contract of mine sucks. Let's renegotiate. I don't see it happening, but which would pull more money away from Tony. So, I mean, I hate to see him go somewhere else, though. I mean, he's a Cowboy. He's been a Cowboy. He's carried that team for a decade. Now that you see what it takes to have a great offensive line and a running game, imagine what if Tony had that for half his career. I mean, he was like Dan Marino the last 5 years, just light it up 87 times a game and, win these barn burners. Give him a run game and protect him.
It's kind of sad. I mean, watching him today read that statement.
Yeah.
I mean, you could just see how much this was bothering him. I mean, he's a competitor. He wants to play. He's doing the right things. He's saying the right things.
Absolutely.
But you could just read in his words, in his body language, in his facial expression.
Yeah,
that
he's jonesing.
Wants to play.
He's jonesing to get it. Yes.
Yeah,
and he knows he's missing out on something special with the team that put together here.
Yeah, it's something incredible. I mean, here I am, a Raider fan, and I'm just as excited about the Raiders where they are, but I can't help but look at the Cowboys and go, doggone it, man. What nobody would have ever predicted this.
Well, these guys are loaded to be good for a very, very, very long time.
They are.
We're knock on wood, without injuries, I would say we're set for the next decade. I mean, some of the integral pieces will change, but between that line, Zeke and Dak, there's your foundation.
Yeah, one quick question about defense, Dave. I saw that Randy Gregory, he's not coming back. I mean, does that hurt? Does that help? I mean, what's their situation on defense? We haven't even talked about defense.
Well, that one's kind of a mystery. Just, they got one standout player in Sean Lee. They got a real up-and-comer at safety in Aaron Jones. But they have a lot else that looks like he has a chance to be a really good player. but they just have a passer and attacking instinct, very bend, don't break style. But somehow it's worked. What's worked is they tackle well for the most part, and they hustle like crazy, and they're playing sound assignment football. They're not getting broken coverages where guys are running free 40 yards downfield. They're not giving up the home run ball. They're making offenses work and play after play after play, 5 yards, 6 yards.
Yeah.
And they hope that along the way they make mistakes, penalties, or turnovers.
Yeah.
They just throw a bad pass or something happens. And that's basically how they're muddling through this, but they're doing a job of it.
Yep.
Yeah, well, I mean, so you got an offense that's chewing the clock, and then you got a defense that bends but doesn't break. So that chews up more clock. That really shortens the game. So, you get up 10 points, the Cowboys, it might as well be 30. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah, the Cowboys, they're really good at also, like you said, when they get a lead, they're able to just grind you down.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the other thing they do. They run, they pound you.
And they've come back a few times,
too.
Yep.
They had the ball like over 7 minutes to end that Cleveland. They just ran it and ran it and ran it. So that's kind of their MO. We're going to shorten the game, let you have fewer possessions. We're going to make you work like crazy to get your points. And somehow all that formula has worked, and I think a lot of credit has to go to Ron.
You nailed it. Well, Dave, I tell you what, we are fighting, I think, technology here with the phone signals coming in and out. So this is probably a good time.
Yeah. Let's not risk it, man. But this has been a great time with you, man. It's shown a lot of insight. Really appreciate your time.
Okay.
So appreciate this.
Yeah. So once we get into the playoffs, we'll hit you up and we'll look for your insight into the playoffs and the road to the Super Bowl.
Okay. Hey, thanks, Dave. And this was Dave Halprin from Blogging the Boys and SB Nation. And Dave will put it out there on fireandbrimstone.com. And as Troy said, look forward to talking to you in the future here, especially as we're getting that playoff run.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Take care. Have a great night, man.
See ya. Hey, man, that was an absolute blast talking to him. I mean, that was
fun. That was
great.
Yeah, he's very knowledgeable. He's all over. He's all over Dallas.
And sorry about the phone connection. When we were talking to him beforehand, we knew we were fighting a phone connection problem, but we really got a great conversation out of Dave. And Dave, we appreciate that. Again, that's bloggingtheboys.com and also SB Nation. They're part of SB Nation. And, we'll put this up on the website. But it was an absolute blast being able to talk to him. That
was really good.
Great insight, that's for sure. So let's real quick. Let's go into the week 11 picks.
All right, let's see. Let's see a couple.
We'll be posting these out here, but let's see. I'm just looking at some of the games.
Oh, look at that! You even updated some of the spreads.
That's
sweet?
Right. That's right.
You are a sweetheart.
Okay. I'm going to go right away because I missed these guys all weekend. The Texans play the Raiders. It's a home freaking game, but it's in Mexico City. They're playing this game down in Mexico City. The Raiders.
The Raiders are in Mexico City.
The Raiders, doesn't it? It's almost perfect, isn't it?
Well, that's creepy.
That's
scary. That's.
Where is all of the bad guys? I mean, they're all going to be down there, watching that game.
Man.
That's for sure. It looks good. The Raiders in Mexico City. I mean, it just looks absolutely good.
That'll be brutal.
That's actually going to be a big game for the Raiders. Just a monster game because the Texans are 6-3. The Raiders are 7-2. The Raiders need this. I mean, this would be a really good win.
And you guys are giving 5.5 up.
You know what? It's not a home game. Even though on paper it's a home game for the Raiders, it's not a home game.
I know, but you're favored by 5.5.
And I'm taking the Raiders straight up, but I've got to go with the Texans. When it comes to the points, it's because it's 5.5, man. It's that's a salty number to give when it's essentially a road game. It's like going to Europe, that type of crap.
Where is it? There's a couple of middle of the road games here. Buffalo and the Bengals.
Yeah.
Tennessee at 5-5 and the Colts at 4-5. There's a nasty little division thing going on there.
Something that plays in favor is the Jaguars going to the Lions. The Lions could be 6-4 after this. I mean, a couple weeks ago, we were
2-8. 2-8 was realistic.
We were calling these guys They were not lions. They weren't even kitty cats.
No,
I mean, they were stuffed animals is what they were.
Yeah, they were.
You know, they were some stuffed animal in my kid's bedroom. That's the best that those guys were.
They were those nasty-looking hairless cats.
Oh, that's exactly one of those hairless cats.
You know?
It's horrendous. Absolutely. So, you know, they could be 6-4. They could be controlling their own destiny, really, all the way out. And then they play Minnesota on Thanksgiving Day.
Oh.
Which is, you know, if they do that, they beat Minnesota.
Well, I think Minnesota's going to get spanked by the Cardinals, too. So, yeah, that's...
And you know what? And Sunday night, the Packers are playing against Washington. And the way that the Packers are, you know, fondue, as I said, you know, they're going into Washington. Washington's picking it up. The Packers could be 4-6 at the end of this weekend.
Well, you're 4-6, and then Minnesota gets beat. They're 5-5.
Yeah.
And then and then you play Minnesota. You guys could put a little distance between yourselves and actually have a couple games to spare.
Yeah, absolutely. Again,
that's probably not going to happen because it's Detroit.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So I may have to jump on the Jags on that one. You know, I just.
Well, you know, it's 6.5 as of right now, as of Tuesday night, and I am taking the Jags with the points just because it is. Detroit, they have a habit of, you know, playing one ball better than the competition.
Sure.
You know, it's like on the pool table. They don't ever run the table. They always just push it out to the very end.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
they always put you behind the other guy's ball so you got no shot.
Absolutely. You know, that's just the way those guys are. Your Cowboys have a nice, I think it's a nice matchup with the Ravens. They should blister them, but I mean, it's still just a nice game to be able to take a team like that on. And then, you know, let's see, besides that, it's I'm not seeing the Titans and Colts. I tell you, the Colts, I have no idea what's going on with them.
I don't think they do either.
These guys have no horseshoes. They're just horses walking around. They look like they have no horseshoes.
Around.
Just clopping around. They're like Clydesdales. They don't move very fast. Nope. They just kind of plod. They look good. They look really good, but they're just plodding around doing really nothing.
They're 4-5, but it's a very ugly 4-5.
No, but you get Andrew Luck. I mean, it just no, absolutely not. It just there's just nothing that's too freaking exciting about them.
I think that Seattle-Philly game is interesting.
That is an intriguing game, isn't it? That really is an intriguing game. We see Carson Wentz out on the West Coast. That's always most people when they go out there, you get the two birds in this one. You got the Eagles and the Seahawks. That's a hell of a matchup, isn't it?
Well, you know, if Philly wins, then and assuming Dallas beats Baltimore, then that gives us 2 games up on them for home field in the NFC. But you know, it wouldn't bother me to see Philly get beat and go to 5-5 just to put some distance in the division there. So
sure.
that's a tough one.
Oh, I tell you what, that is a cool matchup. Well, you know what? I think that's a good synopsis of this coming weekend. What do you think?
Yeah, I think we've done all we can do.
I think so. You know, this is, as usual, it's an absolute blast. This is fun talking to Dave, you know, about the Cowboys. As much as, you know, I'm a Raider fan, I tell you what, hearing about the Cowboys, that's pretty freaking cool. That is,
they're fun. They're fun and they're exciting. So
they're exciting. They're doing the right things. It's hard not to like a team that's doing the right things.
Yeah, it's scary. Well, and they don't seem to have that. The Cowboys of the '90s. How can I say it? Criminal in content.
Yeah, that's
where everybody's getting arrested and doing.
You like these guys. You actually like these guys.
Dak and Zeke were actually volunteering the next day.
Yeah.
Afterwards. So, I mean, you didn't see the Cowboys of old doing that. So.
No, absolutely not. Yeah, you saw them. Well, you saw them other places. Police blotters and stuff like that. About it. But it's
strippers in hotels.
That's right. Well, they did that. I remember reading stuff about that
once or twice. But they do seem to be a pretty decent bunch.
So again, with Dave, that was Blogging the Boys. And then we'll put all this out there, fireandbrimstone.com, Fire and Brimstone on Facebook, Fire and Brim on Twitter. We'll get that out there for everybody. And as usual, dude, this was another absolutely fun week.
Yeah, and I had no beers during this telecast.
Which is really,
that's weird. We're going to have to go back and listen. If I sound like crap, I'm getting drunk for the rest on out.
Somebody did mention the other day, they go, wow, Troy sounded kind of reserved in that last week. And I said, he didn't really drink that much. So we may have
we may have to. I may be a minimum requirement of alcohol just to bring the Bring the extrovert out in me.
Absolutely. Hey, dude, as usual, this is an absolute blast.
Yep.
See
Ciao,
ya.
brother.
Bye.